Good morning and welcome to kind of Friday's market wrap up here at Top Gun Options. What an incredible week it's been. For the past couple Fridays, we've seen the market kind of sell off into the close violently, then less violently, and now essentially the Dow's flat. Even though it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, all indicators are that the market, as I proclaimed earlier in the week, beginning of the week, I said done. Absolutely disconnected from reality. The market is completely discounting everything that's going on around the world with this pandemic, and you just got to smoke the hopium, and this thing goes higher. Good looking Apple iron condor. We did a 1-day Apple iron condor yesterday in our weekly debrief. It's up 60%, about $2,000 in a day, and that thing is looking to close here at $3,300 if it finishes between the uprights. I am going to close this as soon as I get off the air. Most likely, I'm going to take my $2,000 and run. I'm not going to sit here and try and squeeze out another $1,500 as the day goes on, just in case there is some sort of Friday panic selling into the close. Just haven't seen it, folks. Whenever the market experiences what appears to be some reality and some panic selling, the invisible hand of God steps in and props it up. It ain't no invisible hand of God, folks. It is the Federal Reserve and the People's Bank of China. Folks, China has literally ground to a halt. Okay, so Morgan Stanley did a great scientific study. Air pollution is only 20 to 50% of the historical average in their major cities. So it doesn't matter what China's telling us, like, yay, people are back to work. No, they're not. You take a survey of the air pollution around every one of these major cities, it's not even close to where it is on a normal workday. That means nothing's going on in these cities, folks. And oh, by the way, if you take a look at the videos that are still trying to be smuggled out of China, it's an absolute medieval setting. Period, folks. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Squawk Box yesterday on CNBC. There are plenty of theories out there because Wuhan does have a P4 lab. That's a bioweapons facility, level 4, People's Liberation Army lab. Maybe this was man-made, and there's a theory this has been a part of a bioweapons program, but it's just a theory. Folks, it is not a theory. I have it on absolutely great authority that this isn't. Hell, United States Senator Tom Cotton for 2 months, senator from Arkansas, has been saying this is a bioweapon that got out of the Wuhan facility. I absolutely can confirm that, folks. Donald Trump hadn't said a word, folks. Oh, well, no, I'm misstating this, ladies and gentlemen. He has said a word. China's doing great. Talk to Xi. He's awesome. It's contained. This goes away in April because it's hot. Next question. Really? The United States Department of Defense, folks, is executing pandemic plans. 11 military bases near major airports are executing their op order for a pandemic. The military don't put contingency plans into action unless they see some of the signs that they planned on in the first place happening, right? In any military plan, we plan for the worst case scenario. That's the last step in our planning process. All right, everything goes right, we're awesome. Now, let's save the last hour of this planning session to what can go wrong. If they're actually implementing the what could go wrong part, something's gone horrifically wrong, folks. But who cares, right? Nobody cares. The Fed overnight, another, $80 billion in liquidity. The People's Bank of China, we're in I'm hearing trillion. In nearly 28 years of doing this, I've never seen this before, ever in the history of markets. If everything's super awesome like Trump is telling us and China is trying to tell us, why is the Fed and the PBOC going apeshit and trying to prop markets up? What is going to happen when the Fed and the PBOC try and prop markets up when, not if, the market finds out that this was a biological weapon that got out by accident and China is closed? There is nothing going on in China, folks. No production, plants are shut down. What did I show you the other day? These 200 workers were forced back to this one plant, and what happened? One of them tested positive for coronavirus, and what happened to the other 199? They were all immediately thrown in vans and quarantined, never to be seen again from their families. most likely. Are you kidding me that this is going on? Dow down 20 points. So for the past couple days, these citizen journalists, because MSNBC, CNN, all these other pieces of shit networks, impeachment and another Trump and Bill Barr and Roger Stone, and they're frothing at the mouth still about Donald Trump, and they're ignoring the world's biggest story right now. All these citizen journalists that snuck these videos out that showed us the truth, that showed Wuhan crematoriums operating 24/7 a day in a black ash over the city, they're gone. Every one of these people are gone. Donald J. Trump needs to get on TV today and name these individuals and go, the world is watching, President G. Where are these people? If he had any balls, that's what he'd do. But we know he doesn't, right? When it came to the Hong Kong protesters, initially he said, that's a China problem. Yeah, Xi doesn't need my help. What? Are you shitting me? He had to be dragged kicking and screaming to saying the world's watching and, hopefully democracy. Yeah, right. He didn't want to say it, folks. He wants a trade deal. He wants an upmarket and a trade deal, right? Of course he does. Do you think this guy's going to hold a press conference anytime soon that says, by the way, Xi lied to me, this is a bioweapon, and holy shit, the market will be at zero and he won't be reelected? You do your own thinking, folks. If you're sitting here watching our mainstream media trying to get your news about this, you're an idiot. So all these videos kind of stopped and these people got disappeared. Then what did the Chinese put out? People dancing in containment facilities, being ordered to dance by dudes in biohazard suits. You can't. Virus can't put out the passion for life. Video shows infected patients with mild syndromes isolated in a temporary hospital. Everybody saw these temporary hospitals, right? When you zoom into these pictures up close, there's bars on the window and there's only beds in there. Ain't even like a blood pressure cup in any of these places. It looks like a Civil War hospital, folks. The World Health Organization is finally coming under fire for their response, for kissing China's ass for a couple weeks and saying they're super fantastic people and yay, China, and they're doing awesomeness, to no, this is really super bad. Absolute disgrace. This guy needs to be fired. He will go down in history as what? I don't even know. Benedict Arnold. What an absolute traitor to world health. People were like, well, he's kind of caught in between a really powerful country and world health. If your title is World Health Director, there ain't no. It's ridiculous. So China's confirmed cases the other day spiked, then they went down because we're not counting people as positive who test positive. Then they spiked again. Now they're going down. So, folks, this is absolute insanity, and the market isn't paying attention. So China really has a fatal dilemma here. Do they order people back to work and say the country's super safe and airlines can come back and everything like that when it's not, and they kill millions more? Or do they just shut down, lock down everything, which it appears they're trying to do, and try and kill this thing, folks? So I've excoriated the president this week for just being a flaming hypocrite. When Obama was president and he flew back a infected doctor to Atlanta, Ebola patient will be brought to the U.S. in a few days. Now I know for sure that our leaders are incompetent. Keep them out of here. The U.S. cannot allow Ebola-infected people back. People that go to faraway places to help out are great, but must suffer the consequences. Hey, Doc, God bless you for going to Africa to try and save human lives, but if you get it, screw you. What an absolute disgusting hypocrite. This dude's losing me, man. Bill Barr was right. Get off Twitter, Mr. President, at least about Department of Justice cases. Everybody knew the Roger Stone. I've met Roger Stone. I got his book. I have dinner with the guy. You guys see it on my Instagram. 9 years was just absolutely insane. There's people who kill people who get less than 9 years. Lying to Congress. Congress lies to us, and it's okay. It's called politics. You lie to Congress, it's a felony, right? Anyway, he jumped in, massive tweets, miscarriage of justice. He's not letting Bill Barr do his job. Shut up, Donald Trump. You're screwing it up. Donald Trump the other day. This thing will be gone by April. It's hot. Last time I've been to Singapore, which has been a lot, it's hot as shit. Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, their cases are exploding. The CDC director said the novel coronavirus is probably with us beyond this season and beyond this year. So all the smart people are saying it's not going to be gone in April, and here's the president. I'm furious. Let me go with another furious at Donald Trump thing. Not like I'm voting for Bernie Sanders or any Democrat folks, but he's a jackass. 110 traumatic brain injuries from the Iranian attack. He was pressed on this yesterday, and he actually doubled down and said, no, I'm not apologizing for what I said. The head of the VFW, folks, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, demanded an apology. And Trump, I've never seen the dude admit that he was wrong. He is pissing off veterans. He's pissing off the active duty, and that's the last group of people he needs to do. He needs to apologize. I've seen some reports. I talked to a buddy this morning off record, and North Korea is just, if it's in Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, China, it's all over North Korea, and it's horrific. The North Korean press, the North Korean government is saying we don't have one case in North Korea. It's physically impossible, which means a lot of people are dying in North Korea. We screwed up this week. The same Democrats in government that think they can run your health care released a lady that tested positive in San Diego. Super. And then got her back on base. Isn't that awesome? There's your government healthcare at work. So, Wiz, who cares? I don't. Look at this, man. Look at all the green. And this is our weekly debrief portfolio. Look at this. Month to date, this is up over 16 grand. Trading the S&P 500, Brazil, this Apple Iron Condor, and some FXI. So earlier in the week, in the weekly options and primary portfolio, I said I'm done. That's it. We're out. I'm getting long S&P puts and long volatility. I might miss some upside, but the downside is coming. Held some of these, bear call spread that expires today on FXI, EWZ, and the S&P 500, and it's looking pretty good. So who cares? Markets are at record highs, folks. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Under Armour this week. We're going to implode because of coronavirus. It's down 20% this week. Nobody cared. Carnival has canceled cruises. They're like, who wants to go on a cruise ship? Plus, cities aren't letting these cruise ships pull in anymore. They can't physically dock. You're going to somebody tell me why Carnival Cruise Lines, the stock isn't at zero right now. They're shutting down cruise operations. I didn't want to go on a cruise anyway, ever. Well, I did 2 cruises on the Lincoln and Kitty Hawk, but we didn't have, well, maybe we did have a couple bars. But anyway, certainly the women weren't as good looking, not as much dancing. It's a germ factory. During good times, I don't want to go on a cruise because it's disgusting. Now, physically impossible. Why aren't cruise? Here's why, folks. And let me wrap with this. Got a lot of coaching to do today. The market, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely 100% discounting this quarter. They're already looking to Q2, Q3. Hey, we're going to recover. Everything's going to be great. They're ignoring what's going on right now. So when you talk about efficient market theory, right, or a Dow, when you talk about the price of something, that's the price. It doesn't matter what you think it should be. That's what it is currently because that's reality. So right now, folks, we're kind of leapfrogging. The market is ignoring this horrific news and leapfrogging to Q2, Q3, and everything's going to rebound. That's stupid. They have no idea what the future looks like. I don't know what the future looks like. My future, what this looks like, based on everything that I'm hearing, seeing, and finding out on my own and talking to buddies who know a hell of a lot more than me, is this thing is horrible and horrific. There's no cure. It wasn't accidentally released. If you were Donald Trump, and he knows, I know he knows, that this was a released weapon, not on purpose, folks. It got out by accident. Would you tell the American people? Would you do a primetime Oval Office address saying the biggest threat to our country that you said isn't Russia, it's China? The biggest superpower threat to our country released a bioweapon? Would you do that if you were Donald Trump? I would. Who cares about getting reelected at this point, folks? If he's thinking about, crap, maybe he's worried about all his Trump hotel properties around the world and going out of business because nobody's traveling. I don't know what the man's thinking. I just know that he knows the truth and he's lying to you and he's lying to us. The Chinese government, minute by minute, is lying to us. The other day, the cases imploded, the market rallied. The other day in Hubei province, they went through this. It's really interesting how when these provinces report these new cases and the explosion in deaths, the next day they mysteriously implode because the central party flies in, clips the dude that's in charge locally, and installs a party official. So let me wrap on this, folks. The market only cares when it cares. It doesn't care right now. When, not if, when the market cares, it's going to be ugly. When's that, Wiz? I don't know. I got it wrong. This was the initial caring. This was right. Implosion, holy crap, implosion, holy crap, 50-day moving average, Fed, PBOC, bye, 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 bye. That's the last time I saw this market trade within reality. Now, I know I'm contradicting myself because this is reality. Wiz, you just said the price is the price and this is reality. I'm going to say this is altered reality. This is distorted reality. The last time, for me, the markets traded reality was in 2009. When the government had to get involved to save capitalism, bailed out AIG, ordered Bank of America to absorb Merrill Lynch and the thundering herd, and when that happened, when George Bush and Hank Paulson had to save their Wall Street buddies, what happened? That was the end of capitalism. This week, Jerome Powell in his testimony said what? Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to have to use QE during the next downturn. Folks, welcome to America. Even under Trump's America, everybody gets a trophy. Nothing's allowed to fail. So the Fed safety net under this market is in place. I just don't know if it's going to be able to hold, right? It's like we're at a circus right now, and everybody in the market is swinging back and forth and on the high wire and doing a great aerial show. But if we all fall into that net one time, and oh, by the way, here comes the grand piano, it's not going to hold. I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, and the Fed are doing open market operations, not only buying treasuries, but buying actual equities. I know for a fact the New York Fed has been a buyer of equities of the S&P 500, period. Why are they doing it if everything's great? Why are you doing QE when the market's doing this? What is going to happen when the market implodes and they do QE and we don't care? Be very, very careful trading this market, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain Kirk territory. We are boldly in or going where nobody's been before. We've never had a Trump. This isn't SARS, but we've never had this, and this isn't Ebola. This is worse. All the little birdies that I talk to on a daily basis, the prevailing opinion is that this was regular old coronavirus splashed with HIV to make it like super impenetrable. I hate ending on a low note, but I'm going to tell you, if you were China and you were getting destroyed for nearly 2 years in a trade war with the United States, you couldn't nuke us because we'd vaporize you. You can't. Your tanks and your aircraft carriers suck, and you couldn't win in a conventional war either. How do you kill your enemy? You know your answer. Stop listening to CNN, MSNBC, all these people frothing at the mouth over nothing. This is what you need to be frothing at the mouth about. I got more ammo the other day. I got an AR-15 coming, and I'm getting kind of a early conference. A hurricane preparation. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So I'm not panicking my neighbors. But if you're not getting ready for the worst case scenario, you're an idiot. The United States military is, and the U.S. military is usually pretty smart when it comes to horrific planning for these type of things. Okay? All right, I got to get going. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday, I think. God bless. We'll see you later.